Gavin, can you please tell me your interpretation of confidence?
I hope. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Thank you.
So my interpretation would be actually facing anything without any fear. That would be really the way I would look at it.
I love that. I love that. Facing anything without fear. Thank you for your answer. It's greatly appreciated. I will ask one more person for their interpretation of confidence. Danush, I am trying to pronounce your name as best
Yeah,
as I can. Yes, please tell
yeah,
me your interpretation of confidence.
yeah. My interpretation is for anything to start, confidence is the main role it takes place, and con confidence makes you do anything.
Excellent. I like that. Yes, confidence makes you do anything. Well, the Webster Dictionary states confidence as the feeling or belief that someone can rely on something or someone, or firm trust. Well, that's what the dictionary says, but is that what it really feels like? You see, confidence is something we all need, but at times we can't really put our finger on exactly what confidence is. For me, I think confidence has got me to this position standing in front of you. In fact, I believe confidence is what gets us through life. I'm reminded of a story of when I was an air hostess or a flight attendant, which was for 15 years. 15 years of traveling the world, 15 years of learning languages and cultures, and 15 years of truly understanding the essence of what confidence is. Why I'm here with you today is to provide you with 4 points on how confidence can help you and how I can give you 4 points that are easy to remember, that you can easily utilize in your everyday practice, and that will allow your life to bloom into something beautiful. I'm reminded of this key, and my speech is entitled Keys to Confidence. And what does a key do? A key is used to open something. A key is used to open a lock to a door. A key is maybe used to open a lock to a safe. But the point is, the key is necessary to unlock something for you to be aware of the other side. This story comes to my mind when I think of a key unlocking a new story for me. I was a new flight attendant, and I was so excited always to be on the airplane. I was flying to Beijing, China. And unfortunately, my Mandarin, my Cantonese, and my simplified Chinese is not fluent. I was scared. I didn't know how to communicate. There I am in the aisle asking, chicken or beef? Chicken or beef? Chicken or beef? I was encountered with a problem that was veiled as a problem, but simply a solution. There was a language barrier, and I did not know the correct way to communicate this with the passenger, chicken or beef. I stood there in fear thinking, how am I going to pass out these orders? I know what I'm going to do. Chicken. Okay, that works. Or beef. Moo! Moo! It worked. It worked. And in that moment, a tiny increment of my confidence grew. Because I found a solution was veiled as a problem. Let's begin. Again, I'm going to come back to this key often because there's 4 components to the word keys. And that's what we're going to use to unlock the confidence within us all. Because everything I'm telling you, you already have within yourself. There's nothing that I'm sharing that you don't already have within your being. So I want you at this time, and some of you I already see have a writing utensil, have some paper, or on your phone or computer, be ready to take notes. Because these notes will be vital and pivotal for you to come back and review how to unlock confidence with these keys. So the first letter, K. K. K stands for knowledge. Now, knowledge is pivotal when we are breeding our own confidence. You see, the more you know, the more you grow. Or as my father once told me, confidence breeds competence. So I shared with you the story when I was in the aisle as a flight attendant to communicate in a language that I was unaware of. I came up with a solution, and after that, I had more confidence within myself. Not only that, it no longer scared me because I had the knowledge of what I was able to do. This is why knowledge within the keys to confidence is so very helpful. You see, as we go on with life, we are always going to be confronted with solutions that are masked as problems. However, the more that we uncover the solutions, the more knowledge we have in ourselves, the more competence we have in ourselves, and the safer we feel to be in any situation. Let me ask you now, has there been a time when you have been faced with something unknown and that fear stopped you in your tracks? Anyone, please raise your hand. I would love to hear exactly a scene in your life where you were faced with a solution that was veiled as a problem, and you stopped in your tracks because you were lacking the knowledge of how to go on to the next step. Anyone, please raise your hand or share quick 60 seconds of this moment in your life. Wow, there's so many of you that are itching to share this information. I am going to ask Martin. Martin, you're a very smart man. Please share with me a time where you were faced with something that you actually could not figure out initially.
You're flattering me as smart man. There must have been a time because I'm not that smart. Let me think.
You're a brain
Listen.
scientist. You're a neuroscientist. If you're not that smart as a neuroscientist, I don't really know what smart is.
Now you're putting the pressure on me. Perhaps it has to do with some dentist experience
Okay.
in early time when I was a kid.
Okay.
And dentists were cruel. They did some root canal work. And at one point on a Sunday, I wanted to go with my father to his parents. They lived like 3 hours away with the car. And I woke up, my teeth were aching. So before we traveled, we had to visit on a Sunday morning to an emergency dentist. And I was scared because he was there with this huge knife, or what do you call them?
A drill.
Yeah, it hurt. So that was very
Okay.
uncomfy.
And after this situation with the dentist,
Of
what
course, I
did
felt relieved.
you felt relieved? Did you feel afraid for your future visits to the dentist?
Well, yes and no. Today, dentists are no longer that brutal. And
Okay.
at that time, until a couple of years later, of course, I had my respect for dentists. Then I started brushing my teeth. Although there's an interesting episode. At one point, we had a regular meal with like red cabbage, beef, and potatoes. And of course, my mom said, "Of course, you'll brush your teeth." No. And so the dentist said, "Oh, what did we eat today?" And my mom sat next to me and she was ashamed.
Well, it sounds like you learned that if you brushed your teeth, the visits to the dentist office would be less threatening. Is that correct?
I do not have your white teeth smile. Mine are yellow.
Well, thank you. And I will take from that you do take care of your teeth. And
Now,
because of that knowledge, you are not afraid to go to the dentist. Is that correct?
it is correct.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can mute. I appreciate your honesty and your story. And I used Martin's example to provide the example of when we encounter something, the confidence is not there because we have not lived through it. We don't know what's on the other side, and all we can do is imagine the horror that may come from this. However, in the example with Martin, after the first visit to the dentist, he knew what to expect. And furthermore, knew what to do to ensure a kind visit to the dentist. This is why knowledge is so important. Knowledge of what you come across will impart confidence of, I can get through this, or this won't be so bad, or let me take care of my teeth so I don't have to see this scary dentist. Knowledge is the first part of confidence. The more we know, the less we have to be afraid of. You understand, when you know what to expect because you've been through it once, it removes the element of fear and it brings the element of calm. That calm is confidence. In summary, knowledge is the first tool in confidence. The more that we go through things, the more knowledge we have about life, about our world, about what may possibly transpire. However, that fear is removed. That ability to create a story where you think you may not be able to live through this is removed. So knowledge, or K, 4 keys to confidence, is pivotal and important in the first part of your keys to confidence. I have my own personal story with this. Again, going back to my time as a flight attendant, my first big move was from my home state of California to Washington, D.C. Now, that is clear across the nation. That is from one side to the other. And it was scary. I knew this new life. I knew I wanted to see the world and learn what the world had to offer. But the fear in me to move from my hometown, from my safety, from my family, to a complete unknown felt like pushing up against a boulder. I didn't know anyone in Washington, D.C. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any family. And I had no way to even understand the city. However, after that first big move, every move after that, simple. After Washington, D.C., I moved to London. And that was so easy because I already had the knowledge of moving process. I already had the knowledge of what needs to happen when I move, meeting people, finding my way around. That knowledge soothed me and gave me the confidence to make moves all over the world. From London, it was Paris. From Paris, it was back to London. From London, it was New York. And then from New York, it was Hawaii. But that came from the simple knowledge of the first move. It removed that fear and gave me the confidence to dream. And it gave me the confidence to try a new location. So within our keys to confidence, write down K, a large K, and then write knowledge, because knowledge removes fear. Fear can only exist when you're unknown of what's on the other side. So we're still building our keys to confidence. We just established the first letter, which is K, knowledge. Knowledge removes fear. Knowledge gives a sense of calmness. And knowledge enables us to move forward because we know we will be safe in our next move. So what's the next letter in keys? It's E. And E stands for engaging. Engaging in life. So now that we have the knowledge, we can engage. We can engage fully in life because we know we are ready for it. You see, engaging means not just to view it from afar. To create confidence, you need all of these aspects to fully form the sphere of confidence. To engage means to hit it head on, knowing that there's something for me to learn from this. Another story from my travels, a great example of engaging, is when I first moved to London, I had to relearn everything I knew. I had to engage with a new system of measurement. I had to engage with a new system of driving. And I really had to engage with a new system within myself. This is important because when you engage, you allow yourself to change. Engagement means fully trusting yourself and putting yourself in a position where you're sparring with life. So while I was newly in London with my cup of tea and my fish and chips, I learned that I had to engage my mind with new activities. What this allowed me to do was to engage my brain to expand my worlds of thought, to expand what I thought I knew. You see, to engage means to let down barriers. Let down barriers of what you may have built in your mind, what people told you, or maybe just fears. But the simple fact of engagement allows a new road to be built. Engagement means to allow yourself to grow into something new. And this is pivotal with this confidence, this key to confidence. We have our knowledge, and now we have full engagement. And I want you to write this down, because engagement means engaging with new. Something new will inspire you. Something new may light a match for you to want to go in a new direction, or to learn something new, or to learn a new person. And oftentimes that person is yourself. You see, as I'm speaking about confidence, I'm speaking about confidence within ourselves. Oftentimes, the lack of confidence is just a sense of lack we have within ourselves. And this can come from several factors. But the fact that we engage in something new, engage in something inspiring, engage in something that challenges everything within us, it creates life within us to grow. I'm reminded of the time when in London, I was completely unaware that the buses actually just have a tap system. It's not a system where you actually pay when you get on the bus. It's almost like a trust system. However, when you get on the bus, you tap your card for your payment. Me, I did not know this. For some reason, I thought the buses were just to be ridden for free. So I hopped on the bus and thought, this is great. I could just get on and get off buses and I have this card, but I don't need to use it. I was wrong. And this is how I fully engaged with life. Little did I know, one of the police officers would often jump onto the London bus and check to see if you had actually entered your card into the system. I was fully engaged in life at this point. Because not only did I not tap my card to make payment, now I may be in a little trouble. I learned to engage with life by saying, sometimes there's something that I need to know before I get there. There's a sign outside of the bus that says tap to pay. But I was so ready just to hop on the bus that I didn't read the sign. And yet the police officer alerted me that if I did not tap my card, I would gently be escorted off the bus or possibly questioned by this authoritative figure. It was scary at the time. However, what I learned was when you engage with life, oftentimes we need to be aware of all the signs. So we have the knowledge, which is the first K in key. We're engaging with life, which is the second letter in key. And to add to that, the awareness of everything around us may help the journey. You see, confidence is really born in these uncomfortable situations. It's really easy when everything's going right. What happens when you're encountered with this solution that's veiled as a problem? From not being aware and reading all the signs, I was able to learn a new lesson. This lesson still brought an added sense of confidence because now I can know to be aware of everything that's going on around me. Get escorted off the bus into the police station, which I gladly did not have to do. Therefore, again, I will continue to reiterate with our keys to confidence. The first lesson, knowledge, K, is the first lesson in, it's the first initial in the word key. Knowledge brings awareness, it brings comfort. Then we go on to engaging in life, being aware of all the signs, jumping in full force. And then we go on to why. And what is why? Well, why is you. Why oh you? Why is you? We have the knowledge. We're engaging, and it's you. You see, I started off this speech saying everything that I'm telling you, you actually already know. It's already inside of you. And when I speak of you, I speak of us. I speak of us as human beings that are interacting with each other. You are the most important aspect of confidence. You see, once you realize how special you are to yourself, when you realize everything has gotten you to this moment where you're hearing my words, this moment you're remembering hardships in life, this moment where you're remembering maybe your grandparents teaching you lessons. That's all a part of you. We have to be my special and important that we are. When I speak of you, I speak of truly taking care of you, being aware of what you need, and being aware of what you are. Life story time. Reminded of a friend of mine who came to pick up something from my home. And this friend had never met me, actually only spoken over text message or the phone. And when I met my friend, I invited my friend in. I said, listen, do you have time? Would you like to have a cup of tea? He said, no one's ever asked me to have a cup of tea. I welcomed him in, and we sat in my home. And I was reminded of how my mother would do this. My mother would pay attention to others. How my mother would take time and present tea, right temperature, in beautiful glasses. Sit, listen intently to the person that was across from her. And in that moment, I saw myself in my mother. In reality, I was engaging with a person fully. Because every moment that I spend with someone is a moment that I'm spending with myself. I want to fully engage and learn a person because I believe that that is the most beautiful union. To just respect a person enough to listen intently, to learn who the person is, to learn their story, to feel their heart. Because when I speak of keys to confidence, and when I speak of you, I speak of how special we each are individually. And at times we forget that. And that's why I'm here to say you are important, you are loved, and you are special in this moment. And if you keep that in your mind, anyone would want to sit and have tea with you. You see, knowledge is important. Engaging with life is important. And treating ourselves with utmost respect is very important. When we realize how special we are, we begin to carry ourselves like the royalty that we are. The lack of confidence often from the lack in ourselves. So the why is very important in keys. Because we are worthy to be in every stage in life. We're worthy of engaging with everyone we come across. And when I say why not you? There's never a need to doubt. And this is where true love of oneself is bred. And the keys to confidence lies in you, or why. However, I'm going to refer to you. Knowing how special we are, knowing that we come from a long line of important people who got us to this moment. So do not ever doubt yourself. This is very important in our keys to confidence. The knowledge that we gain through life, engaging every day in every situation in life, learning from these situations in life, and then why, which is you. Y-O-U. You. So we have the K for knowledge, E for engaging, the Y, which is you, and the final letter is S for keys. And what is S, may you ask? It's that smile. Because we're confident, we're here, we have the knowledge, we've been engaging in life, we're taking care of ourselves, which is you. So you better smile while you're doing it. A big, beautiful smile. The smile opens up the world to us. And it's a scientific fact that when we smile at a human being, the human brain automatically wants to mimic that. So you will see a smile from the opposite person. It makes you feel good to smile. I love to smile. I go outside and I just smile at the tree. I just smile because I woke up. It brings your energy up to smile. And often you never know who may need to see that smile. Because confidence can also be shared. And that's another part of the S in keys. Smile and sharing. You see, when we share our knowledge that we have learned through life, when we share all of our engagements and everything that we've learned through life, when we share part of ourselves with another human, this element of confidence keeps growing. This element of feeling ready to take anything on because we can. It's shared. It's similar to the feeling of me standing here talking to you. I'm smiling because this is my dream. This is my dream, to engage, to smile, to gain knowledge, to share knowledge. Oftentimes, we do not know what another human being may be going through. So when we take all of our keys to confidence, our knowledge, our engagement, ourselves, you, and that smile, and we share it, that creates the keys. That's the key to open a door. And when we put the lock in the door to confidence, we turn that lock in the door to confidence. When we turn the handle on the door to confidence, there's something beautiful on the other side. Oftentimes something that we have no awareness of. So I ask you, everyone in the room, now that you have the keys to confidence, what door are you ready to unlock? What is waiting on the other side that's waiting for you? What is confidence ready to give you? Take your keys to confidence. Take your knowledge, engage, take yourself, smile while you're doing it, share it, and open the door. And I challenge you to open the door to what confidence may lead you to. Because we all have the keys. The door is just waiting for you to open it. Go and open your door to confidence and let me know, because I want to know what's on the other side, okay? I now turn control of the meeting back to our Toastmaster of the day. Oh, it's our question and answer, I believe. Yes, I'm ready for all the questions. So I will take any questions, any clarifications, anything that you would like to ask me or commend. I just am ready to engage. Please share. I see one. Okay, Karina, yes.
Hope,
Thank you, Ms. Hopes, for
Martin,
What
you
would you
got to
like to-
raise your hand, Martin. You can't just be talking. You got to raise your hand.
You, in the past, you said, or one of the last sentences, you said, what do you
Martin, you
take
cut
away?
off Kavina.
Huh?
You have to get in the queue. Kavina has her hand up currently. You're right after Kavina, Martin. I promise
Okay.
you. Thank you, Kavina.
Thank you, Ms. Hope Williams. It was a brilliant session where you reiterated all that we need to open that door to confidence. It was brilliant hearing you. And now I would like to open the Q&A session. Maybe first I'd like to ask the question to you. We
Yeah.
quite often talk about confidence and self-confidence. I'm sure there's at least a subtle difference between both of them. If you could please help us understand.
Sure. Okay, the subtle difference between confidence and self-confidence. Yes, it is very subtle. When you speak of confidence, as we just spoke of keys to confidence, my initial thought is confidence just to do something. When I speak of self-confidence, I believe that is within us to take that step to do something. So it's very faint. It's very faint. But self-confidence is really relying on oneself to make the move, relying on oneself to know you're successful, compared to just confidence in doing something, I would believe is just acting. It's just acting. It's very subtle. It can be misconstrued as the same thing, and oftentimes I believe it's the same thing. So I actually do think it's the same thing. However, I think to be confident in oneself means you can rely on yourself, which means you give yourself permission to do. Confident to do something is slightly different, but within the confidence within your body, you are your judge and jury. You're not looking for something or someone to give you that push or that security that you need, because it's already within you. You are the domain of yourself. Therefore, you feel that you can rely on yourself and reach out towards anything. I hope I was able to clarify that. You please tell me if that was clarified, or what is your feedback to my response?
It indeed is. You've
Okay.
answered the question, and I totally understand that it is a subtle level of difference when it comes to confidence and self-confidence. And thanks for taking that question.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Martin?
Yes, towards the end of your brilliant talk, you raised the question, what do you expect to take away? Personally, I would take away to come for example, Toastmaster speeches to be more spontaneous when I have this confidence.
Mhm.
I mean, practicing and repeating, that's one thing, it's a necessary thing. But if you want to stand up and then if I know my thing and I have confidence, then I do not rely as much on a scripted speech, but I can wing it.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. You're welcome. And I look forward to you speaking and just winging it, Martin. Thank you. Any questions? I
Or in
love
other
to
words,
answer.
being more spontaneous.
Yes, yes, just like how you jumped out there and started talking. I enjoy it. Any questions? I love these questions and I love even just to engage. Yes,
Yeah.
my favorite.
Oftentimes, I lose confidence in speaking in front of people. When I took 7 years to rejoin Toastmasters, I joined, I lost confidence. I'm not able to deliver my icebreaker speech. I took 7 years to deliver my icebreaker speech. So I always lack confidence, even though I have a lot of thoughts to communicate with people. I don't have the confidence to speak, especially for the first speech. How to gain confidence for the first time?
Yes, to gain confidence, you just got to do it. The secret is with confidence is bred out of competence. The more you do it, the easier it feels. And it is that initial accepting that there's going to be discomfort initially. Accept that. It's new. It's not a skill that has been mastered. And it's not that it's uncomfortable. Your brain is still learning. Your brain is in a new space. So that's a beautiful space to be in. I actually find beauty in that area where I may not feel the most comfortable. However, to feel more confident, you just have to keep doing it. I do not believe there's an easy way other than going straight through. So the more that you do it, the easier it becomes, and telling yourself, I know this is going to feel uncomfortable, and I will do it anyway. Was that helpful for you?
Yes, yes. Yep.
Believe it or not, I haven't always been a speaker like this.
Yep.
Well, kind of, I always have. I kind of always was. I was always, the teachers in school were always telling my parents, Hope is always talking a lot. So I maybe was shy in school for a moment. Keep doing it. I know you got it.
Yeah.
Yes, I see Rajesh. Please.
Yes. Hi, Williams ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I'm more confident, and I'm more confident, and sometimes certain people, my confidence level is coming down. How to improve the confidence in that kind of people also? The fluctuation, how to control the fluctuation?
Right. So let me ask you this. Is your question that when you are around others,